Hey guys, today we're going to do a little blade service on a John Deere riding tractor. They're all pretty similar, most riding tractors. This just happens to be a John Deere one. And yeah, we're going to pull the blades, we're going to clean the deck off underneath, and we're going to sharpen them, check the blades, see if they're good, and we'll go from there. So let's take a look at what we have and see what we're going to do. Here she is. This is a John Deere. This one is a S240. So I think this has a 48-inch deck, and I think it has three blades on it. So let's get this thing jacked up. That's step number one. And let's pull the blades off and see what the underneath the deck looks like, because a lot of times they don't get cleaned very well underneath there. You get a lot of grass buildup. So let's check it out and see what it looks like. All right, so let's go down underneath and take a look. Customer says that the it's not cutting properly, or it's leaving lines, or I don't know what's going on, but I think they bent the blade. Let's take a look underneath and see what the deck looks like, because I think that that's the first thing I usually check. So here we go. All right. Oh yeah. So if you notice how much caked up grass, I mean, look at this. This thing is on there. That is most definitely problem number one, is how much buildup is going on there. So we're gonna pop these blades off and clean this bottom of the deck here, get all that buildup off, because what happens is the grass dries in there and then it gets really kind of hard and it messes up the airflow underneath the deck. So you're not getting the suction up to lift it, and to throw it, it's getting blocked by all the dead buildup there. So let's pop these blades off. All right, let's get under here with the impact and put these blades off. There's one. All right, so now we got the blades off and out of the way. Let's get up on here and let's scrape all this stuff out. Now, we do this like on a weekly basis for our machines, because, you know, we cut commercially, so we do this all the time. This is a standard thing that we do. It's not glorious. I wish there was a better way to do it, but there really isn't. Just get under here and you got to get the bulk of the grass and whatever debris out. And sometimes, you know, you can't help it. You just have to cut wet grass or damp grass. You know, sometimes if it's just your property that you're doing, you can kind of wait if you have the time and do it. But somehow, some way, you're always going to get some wet grass under here that's going to build up, you know. And most of these mower decks are pretty much the same, give or take some of the stuff, but there's a lot built up in here. You know, these kind of tractors come with a deck wash. I can't say that that deck wash is going to do a better job than just a scraper, you know. You just have to get under there and get the debris out. You don't need anything crazy. Just a regular little floor jack makes life easy. Get under there and you really get the buildup out. And if you leave it, especially like over the winter, it holds so much moisture that it like will rot a hole in the deck, because it just breeds under there. I don't know. You definitely want to get it out the best that you can. Sorry, I got my fat head in the way here. always seems to be a very awkward angle. That's just the way it is. Like I said, it's not a glamorous job, you know. But get under there and get it done. I can see a lot of rust starting to build up on this one. Like I said, we do this on a weekly basis. And, you know, we never let our decks sit with a lot of grass on them. But a lot of the homeowners don't put this in their schedule as far as lawnmower maintenance, you know. If we see it once a year, that's probably the most it's going to get done. All right, so let me try and get under here. So that's good. I mean, you could pull the deck off, you could flip it over, you could power wash it. You know, you can get some good primer on there. Those things are if you're going to be an overachiever, but like I said, for the average homeowner, this is just all you need to do. Get it under there, get it all cleaned out. I'm not sure if you guys can see this very well. I'll have to double check the video, but that's where we're at. Now let's go take a look at the blades and see what they look like. All right, so let's take a look at the blades. This particular model has pretty heavy blades for you know, for a lawn tractor. A lot of them are a lot flimsier, lighter. But I like to do it like this: is I pancake them, because if you put them all together like that, this tractor has 3, but if it's 2, same difference. You pancake them, and then you'll see if there is a bend in one of the blades, because they just won't stack perfectly. See if you can get up close to that, but you see, especially on this side, you can see how they fit. There's no gaps. Same thing on the other side here. So these blades are good. They're not bent. They just need to be cleaned up. Like I said, I think the number one problem with this was the buildup underneath. So we are going to touch these up on the wheel, get them nice and sharp, and we're going to reinstall them. So let's get them sharpened. Okay, so we're going to reinstall our blades. Now, a couple of things to remember when you reinstall the blades is, see, some blades fit flat on the spindle and some have this step. So now these particular blades, let me grab it here, they're going to go inside of that little step right there so the blade doesn't move. Not all mower decks are like that. A lot of these little tractors are, so you just want to make sure when you reinstall your blade that you are inside that little keyway kind of thing. Make sure it's in there correctly, because if you have it off center like this and you tighten the blade down, you won't notice it until later, and it'll be it'll make an awful humming noise, be all out of balance. You don't want to do that. So I like to do it this way with these particular machines, is put it on upside down, just like this. Yes, that was my next thing. So here's your, I call them fins. So you got to make sure that these fins, it's a lift part of the blade, is pointing up towards the bottom of the deck. Okay, so I always say, like a figure of speech, like fins up. So when you put the blade on, make sure that these fins are pointing up and the cutting edge is down. So there's your cutting edge down and your fin up. So put it on, make sure it's centered. And with this type, I like to hand tighten the bolt so that way you know it's in the keyway there and it's not off center. So you're going to do that with all 3 and then get them tightened up. All right, so now we have our blades installed. and we have them all tightened. Now, it doesn't matter which direction the blade is facing as far as like the way it's turned. They're not timed. So, sorry about the camera. I usually put them in the kind of a same angle, but it doesn't matter. They're not timed. They will move. It's a belt driven blade, so that doesn't make a difference. But like I said, make sure, final check, all 3 blades are installed properly. Thin part of the blade up, cutting edge down, thin part, lift part up. So just confirm that all of your blades are on in the right direction, because if they are, one is upside down, it just is not going to go very well. And then, like I said, make sure when you put the blades on that they're all flush to the spindle and you're not off center. I know it sounds silly, but sometimes you're in a hurry or you can't get under there properly and you don't put it on right. As far as tightening the blades and removing the blades, I use an impact wrench. If you don't have an impact wrench, borrow one or purchase one. You can look in the description. I'll give you a link for some pretty decent ones, and you'll use it for a lot of other things. But if you change your own mower blades, just get an impact. Oh my gosh, it's so much better. You can do it with a ratchet, and you can put a block of wood in there and try to prop it up against the blade, and it's kind of a headache. Just, you know, invest in the impact. And there's all the grass we're going to clean up. That all came off the bottom of the deck. Like I said, that stuff gets in there and stops the airflow, so you want to make sure you get that off there. All right, and there you have it, folks. That is how you change the mower blades or sharpen the mower blades on your riding tractor. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this helped. Peace.